Hi, I'm Shay. I'm legally blind, and if you want to know just how much I can see, there will be a link to my How Blind Am I and visual aids in the description box. And well, now that I got that out of the way, if you if you see that I'm not really focused on the camera, or I look past it, or over here, over there, that's why I don't really have a focus point of where to look at for the camera. So since I set it up in front of me, I just stare forward and hopefully I'm looking at the camera. So I completed Chloe Ting's Summer Shred Challenge, her 2019 and her 2020, the one that came out in May. I started my fitness journey, if you will, back in mid-January, the 21st. I had gotten a treadmill for Christmas from my partner, and it's not a low-key insult from my partner. I had been saying for months that I want to get in shape, I want to exercise, I need to exercise because the reasons why is diabetes runs in my family, so it does heart attack and stroke and a lot of those bad things that come with being overweight, which is why I want to get in shape. I'm also 30 years old, so when I got my treadmill for Christmas, I was super excited and got it set up, and I had been tinkering with nutrition on and off for a few months already before I got my treadmill, so I was already getting into the habit of eating healthy. When my treadmill got set up, I started walking every day for 20 minutes to a half hour, and it was very slow-paced walking since like I said, I wasn't used to exercising anymore, and I didn't want to overexert myself or hurt myself in any way with my nutrition, like such as the usual thing, not a lot of fast food, no sugar. I stopped putting sugar in my coffee and my tea. I stopped doing that. I switched from sugar to stevia or sweetener with monk fruit, like stevia with monk fruit or sweetener, whichever was on sale I would buy. I started using this app called MyFitnessPal, which tracks your calories for you, and I didn't realize, just even though I was eating healthy, I didn't realize just how many calories like rice or potatoes or anything, even if it wasn't store-bought, like kind of those like chicken wings, store-bought chicken wings, don't realize just how much fat or sodium it has. So even though I was eating healthy, or I thought I was eating healthy, I wasn't eating as healthy as I could have been. So that fitness app really, my FitnessPal app, really helped me to get my nutrition on point, essentially. And I started walking, and by January 31st, I had come across Chloe Ting a year prior to doing her challenge, and I thought she was just like the cutest thing ever. She's just so positive, and I really like that about her. So seeing one of her fitness videos, and then she popped up in my recommendations. I was like, this is kind of crazy. It was meant to be. So I started following her stuff and seeing that she had a website, clicked on the website. It was very easy to use. If you're visually impaired, It's really easy to use. It's not like, I don't have any of those computer aids like JAWS or anything like that on my computer, since even though I'm technically blind, no, that I'm legally blind, I could still see pretty well, like quotation marks, pretty well, that I don't need, I don't really need JAWS. I just enlarge the font and use a magnifying glass. Anyways, her website is really easy to use, and so is her schedule. You just had to do the videos that were listed for that day. And I was thinking, I could do this. I could do this, and with my nutrition and walking, since I already made that a habit by then, it doesn't take me long to stick to a routine. That's why I call it a habit. Usually it takes other people about a month to 2 months to make something a habit, but for me it doesn't take long. Like after a few days, I'm like, that's my routine. I don't like to divert from it. That's what it is, kind of thing. When I started doing Chloe's 2019 Summer Shred Challenge, I started that one first. The reason why I started that one first is because I didn't see her January 2020 Summer Shred Challenge. I just didn't see it for whatever reason. I didn't see it, and I was doing the 2019 one. So I was already 2 weeks, sorry. So when I started that, my current weight was 232 pounds. And I am 5'6.5". When you get your driver's license and things like that, they won't let you put a half, even though that's what it is. So if I say 5'6" or 5'7", that's why, because of that ½ inch. Anyways, like I said, diabetes runs my family, and I can't stay at that weight. It's just not viable for me. I also have I'm not just legally blind, I also have another condition. I have circulatory problems in my legs. At some point I'm going to have knee surgery, like a knee replacement surgery in my right knee. So carrying around all of that extra weight when you're recovering is really bad for you. So that was another reason why I need to get into shape. I need to lose the weight, be healthy, kind of thing. So I decided to do her challenge, and I really I was having such a hard time. But if you know me, like, I am incredibly strong-willed and at times incredibly stubborn. So I'm not like one of these people that are like, this is doing it once, like, this is too hard, I can't do it, I'm just gonna give up. I don't do that. When I set my mind to something, I'm going to do it no matter what. I don't care what anyone says around me, I'm going to do it. So so even though it was incredibly hard and I was out of breath and I was literally winded, when not even halfway through her, I think it was a 10-minute full body workout, I was completely winded because, like I said, I just started working out. And I'm sorry I don't have any footage of me working out because I didn't think that I would be recording this video. So that's the reason why I don't have any footage of me working out. And I just was doing it for myself. When I was 2 weeks into her program, I hit a kind of like a roadblock. As people say, life gets in the way. I ended up having to get my eye injected. So a whole other video for why. Or you could scroll through all my other videos for why I get my eyes injected every once in a while. I had my eye injected, so I couldn't do anything strenuous for a week tops. Like that was the bare minimum where I had to wait. And then when I started up again, another 2 weeks later, I had to have surgery. I had an IUD put in, which is technically surgery. And it's a whole other video for why I have to call it surgery. I had to anyways, I had to be put under for it because of my arthritis in my hips. But that's a whole other video. So I had to wait another 2 weeks just to recover because I couldn't do anything. Those nurses told me I couldn't do anything strenuous for 2 weeks minimum. Even though other people who got IUDs were completely fine and could just go right back to work and exercising and all this other stuff, but for whatever reason, the nurses told me that I couldn't do anything for 2 weeks. So I was essentially just calorie counting for those 2 weeks and not walking. well, actually, for 3 days I didn't walk, and then I started walking again, but not on an incline or anything like that. Just flat surface on my treadmill, just walking for 20 minutes. So I was still active, but I wasn't as active as I wanted to be. So when those 2 weeks were up, started Chloe Tings challenge, 2019 challenge again. One week in, can you guess what happened? I got sick. I ended up getting sick from my partner's coworker. We had a D&D game, so when we went over there, I ended up getting sick from one of her kids. And so I was out, like I was completely out for 2 weeks. For another 2 weeks. I couldn't walk, I couldn't continue the challenge because I was just so sick that I had to go to the hospital and get an inhaler just to get the mucus out of my lungs. And it wasn't COVID. It wasn't that. I literally had a cold. You know, with all the medications that I take, when I get a cold, it hits me hard. It hits me hard to where like I could barely walk. So that's why I couldn't do it for like another week or two. And then I had to start it up all over again. During this time, I was losing a few pounds here and there just with the sporadic exercise and calorie counting. I dropped from 232 pounds to 221 pounds with the sporadic exercising and Chloe Tings workout. So after I was done my cold and everything seemed fine, started up her summer 2019 summer shred challenge. Started up again, and I was like, I hope nothing else crappy happens that's just preventing me from exercising and going full out kind of thing, you know. So when I started her workout videos, I could barely get to 15 to 20 seconds, which obviously because I just started exercising. But as the weeks progressed, it would get slightly easier. So instead of going from exercising for 10 to 15 seconds, you know how she has the 30 to 40 seconds on, 5 seconds off, 10 seconds off, you know, kind of thing. I would be at 10 to 15 seconds per exercise. And as the weeks went on, by the 5th week, I was able to get to 20 to 30 seconds per exercise. And I just felt incredibly strong. I felt stronger and I was motivated. Like I said, when I set my mind to something, no one can tell me otherwise. No one can talk me down. So when I completed her 2019 challenge, I was at 210 pounds when I completed that challenge. So I lost about 10 to 11 pounds. If you include all of those hiccups, I lost 20 pounds. If you include where the sporadic exercise. And when I was done, I was a little sad, but I was thinking, okay, well, I could just relax, well, active rest for a few days and then start up her January 2020 Summer Shred Challenge. I'll start up that one. But then I seen her new video pop up at the time that said that she was coming out with a new one in May. And I was like, yes, I'll do this one. I'll do this one. And then maybe after this one, I'll start up her January. So when I started her May one, I was at 210 pounds. I don't know what my measurements were. I didn't measure myself. One, I didn't have a measuring tape and I don't have one. I should really buy one just so I can keep track if I do more of these videos. Because people are just interested in how many inches you lost versus pounds, because if you weigh yourself on the scale, it could kind of not give you a false reading, but muscle is heavier than fat. So that's also why I took pictures. I took pictures at the beginning of my fitness journey and at the end of when I completed Chloe Tings challenge, the first one, 2019, and I took pictures for the end of May. Again, I didn't take video of doing the one for May because, again, I didn't think I would end up doing this video, so there was no reason, or I had no incentive to record myself exercising. So I apologize for that. Of the month, I weighed 210, and then at the end of the month, I had weighed 206. I know that doesn't seem like a big difference considering I dropped 20 pounds, but you have to keep in mind I just started exercising, and when you just start exercising, you drop a lot of weight in a short amount of time before it slows down, and then you go to a 1 to 2 pound crawl per week. So you have to keep that in mind. But even though I only lost 4 pounds, that you could really see it in my back and my arms, and you could see it in my collarbone, and I was just floored. Like I even showed those pictures to my partner, and he was like, yeah, you're really getting toned. Well, he sees me every day, so he's not gonna notice like a huge change, especially like I said, you see me every day, so, which is why I also take pictures. If I could figure out a way to put my starting pictures and at the end of the program, then the beginning, and then the end of the May one, I will. But if I can't, I'll put a link in the comment section for my Instagram. You'll see them, and it's just crazy. Just the results, they're just so crazy. The reason why I love these challenges, I noticed people saying that these videos are so repetitive, or I know what's coming up, and it's just, it gets boring after a while or whatever. I like it. I like structure because because I can't see very well. It's handy for me to know what exercise is coming up, so I don't have to keep pausing, squint, or get my glasses to look at the screen to look at my TV and see, okay, well, what position is that? Like, what exercise position is that? Or are we standing up, or are we getting on the mat, kind of thing. That's why I like it, even though people are saying it's too repetitive. That's good for me, especially someone who's legally blind and can't necessarily rely on their eyesight, even though I do see color and I do see objects, but I can't see anything smaller than a 14-point font. That's why I like it. I also really love how Chloe is so positive throughout her videos. It's so encouraging that she's always telling you, you can do this. If you need a break, take a 2-minute break and then jump right back into it, and that you're almost there. And she never says you'll be skinny or you'll be thinner. She always saying you will get stronger, you will, this exercise will get easier, and if it gets easier you could add dumbbells. Like, she's just so positive, and without, just encouraging without trying to either tear you down or like tear other people down. She's just like, you could do this, you could do this, let's do it together, kind of thing. She's kind of like like a best friend that just happens to be a personal trainer kind of thing, you know what I mean? That's why I really enjoy her content. And I made her, I guess it was like a tofu sandwich, except I deconstructed it and made a salad, and it was delicious. It was the one with the spicy mayo on top and like the grilled vegetables. That one, so good. Oh, my goal weight is to be at least 160 pounds for my height. Again, I'm 5'6.5". That's my goal weight. And after I reach my goal weight, I want to build more muscle and get to fitness level of Chloe. That's my end goal. Well, obviously you need to keep up with it. You can't just be like, I reached it and that's it. You have to, you know, maintain. But that's my goal after reaching my goal weight, is to gain muscle and to get, I guess, what is it called? Fit thick? Where you're fit but you're thick at the same time, kind of thing, you know? I want to look like that. That's another goal after reaching my goal weight. Where cheat meals are involved, I just want to mention this while I'm wrapping this up, that I didn't abstain from fast food or anything bad for me. If I want to have pizza that week, I would, but I didn't make it a habit. It would be like every 2 to 3 weeks I would have pizza, or every 2 to 3 weeks I would have McDonald's, or I would have a chocolate croissant with a fancy coffee, or have cookies with my dinner, kind of thing. I wouldn't say no to those cravings every 2 to 3 weeks, because I don't want to end up getting an unhealthy mindset towards food. So if I had a really strong craving like that, then I would. I just wouldn't overindulge to where I made myself sick or where I would have it again the next day kind of thing. Everything in moderation. Chloe, if you ever happen to watch this, I sent you a DM and I left a few comments on your videos saying this, but I'll say it again. A DM on Instagram, I'll say it again. I would greatly appreciate it if you can make a full body workout for people who are not just visually impaired, but completely blind, with maybe a 20-minute workout video where half of the video is where you're holding on to the wall or a chair, and then the other half is where you're down on the floor on your mat with very descriptive exercise positions, because it's incredibly hard finding exercise videos that are accessible to people who are blind. And I'm lucky enough to have enough vision to see what you're doing so I could actually follow you. Oh, how I watch your videos is on the computer. I'll watch them through once so I could see the exercises and stuff, and then I'll do them on my big screen TV that's right behind my camera. So I'll know what exercise and position that's coming up. I'm really hoping if you see this that maybe you'll consider making a video. And I'm going to start her 2-week shred challenge on Sunday while I wait for her new challenge coming up. And I will, I guess, make another video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.